It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade. Yeah, taste those clouds away.
I was mindful.
Listen.
about last time because the last episode we just did, it was very, very aggressive.
I know, but
We're
I like
doing
that.
things
I
a
like the
little
clap to be
differently,
like,
yeah.
startle me.
No, I don't want to. Again, I'm already wearing the glasses. We're already rocking those.
did the
I
last
feel like we're
episode,
already
Now-
creating a vibe here.
Our future's so bright, we gotta wear shades.
Of course it is.
Oh, stop it.
Of course it is. So I guess I should say hello.
Hello.
Hi everybody.
Introduction.
Hi everybody. I'm Israel. I got my sister here, my mom. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes, I'm Callie.
And I'm Linnell.
Oh, that's
Yes.
fantastic. And we are never met a stranger, and we
Let's
are
do
here.
that.
Thankfully, back in the morning because we do evening shoots every now and
Yeah.
again, and they absolutely make me tired. I still got my monster, so we're good.
Oh my god.
We're good.
Nothing makes me tired.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
You
We
sure?
do have some special surprises
Yes,
up our
we do.
sleeve.
So for those of you who've been with us, thank you very
Mm-hmm.
much. Thank you for coming back. We do have a guest with us, our
Yes,
very, very
our
first guest.
First guest.
So we're moving on up in the world. We actually
Yes.
can, I
This
guess
is
not afford to,
monumental.
but-
It is.
We're expanding our reach, and we thought that we'd go ahead and bring in someone who we think you guys gonna be really, really interested
Now,
in.
Yes.
listen, we're all wearing sunglasses.
I'm taking
Yeah.
mine off. I
Because-
already can't see.
because
That was a good introduction.
because I wanted to. I came in wearing my bling cross with my bling
Oh,
sunglasses,
they match.
and I said, "Too much." Israel said, "A little."
Yeah, just a little.
A little.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we all decided to start the show with sunglasses. So I
Let's
appreciate the
do
camaraderie. However, these are available for purchase on my Etsy.
Oh
No,
my
Oh, but say, wait a
I'm
minute, wait a
kidding.
minute.
I
now.
don't have an Etsy.
Wait a minute.
However, it's nice to know that if you put your mind to something and you see something and you can emulate that
Yes.
with a little
Little.
hard work,
Yeah.
bam!
There you
Sure.
go.
And
I
then you
wanted
save
it, I
yourself
did it.
185 bones.
Heck, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I probably would at some point.
Yes.
My glasses aren't exactly cheap. I just
Yeah.
that's a little
Now,
bit too much.
really quickly, before we hop into our guests, let's just recap. Challenge?
Silver linings.
Yes.
Silver linings. It was just really, really, really trying to find those things and improve our perspectives on our own lives, the things that we encounter.
Seeing the glass half full.
Seeing the glass
just
half full.
attempting it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Pushing past fear,
Yes.
Yeah, doing all those things. So
because everything you'll ever want in life is on the other side
side.
of fear.
yeah, because
that.
remember we were talking about the bulldog story, right? And
Right.
we were just talking
Yeah.
about how
The fat white
the fat
bulldog.
white bulldog. If we're being
Oh my
specific,
God.
And if you didn't catch that show, it's a great story. He seemed like a great dog.
That's my dog.
stop.
It's the dog. It's a bulldog.
The,
Do you know that bulldogs can't swim? I didn't know that.
wow. Why do you think that is? Because they're
weight distribution.
Balls
Is
are-
I'm just-
oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get they're big old floppy.
Well,
flubbery
also
things.
maybe their breathing
Yeah.
nose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I digress. So the challenge was to push past fear.
yes.
And get out of your comfort zone. Open the door to the world. Get out of the car. Everything that's important in life is not inside the car,
Yes.
right? Get
But
out
it-
of the comfort zone.
I think that was 2 episodes ago.
No, I'm saying it all ties together.
Oh, okay, but I say,
Yeah.
wait, remember that one was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you.
But
It
okay.
lines up.
Mom,
No,
I've lost it.
I promise you, if you have lost it, I would not tell you to your face. I would just
Thank you.
elbow her under the table.
Now I have
and
to
give her
Which we've
eyes.
done
I have
many
to
times.
apologize to our friends for my tissue. In the valley, these allergies.
Yes.
I don't think I ever really
The
had
valley is
allergies.
the middle of California, by the way.
The older I get, the more allergies I have. Weird, right? Do you have any food allergies? I'm
No.
allergic to pineapple, but I'm going to
Yeah.
try to push past it this
Tree
year.
nuts and bananas.
I'm gonna-
Oh yeah.
And I love
Wait,
banana-
And chocolate too, though.
No, I could do chocolate.
know,
But
somebody
tree
said
nuts
She's
and
chocolate.
sexy
bananas.
chocolate. How can you be allergic to?
Oh,
Don't
stop.
get me started. But yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to push past the pineapple allergies this year.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, you have a little EpiPen handy.
Mhm.
You try it out. I think it's just like
You
we've
know
been
those
talking
things are
about.
expensive too, and you have to renew those all
I
the
have 6 of them in my desk at work.
Wow.
No.
Again, okay, for one, let's be honest.
Huh?
One's not going to do anything to me.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
One probably not going
we
to do
could
anything
call
for
a
me
spade
either.
a spade, people. I am 6'7" and I am 300 plus. We're not going to say plus how much, but we're just saying I'm 300 plus. One pen is not going to do anything. It's like
6'7",
you're going
yeah.
elephant
You
hunting
have
at
to
that point.
duck
I
when you walk
need,
into a
I
room?
need,
No.
I need two. So I keep
Yeah.
them in there, and I
What if
have.
somebody of your guests need one?
Well,
or,
you know,
know.
well, no,
There you
it's just
go.
because I
They
haven't.
expire though, right?
They do, so I gotta get rid of probably two of them.
Does
Yeah.
your insurance cover any of that?
Yeah, all of it. It's wonderful.
Let's do that.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna
digressing.
try.
I
So it's just
digress.
like we've been talking about. If you continually introduce positivity in small, little pineapple bites,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
then pretty soon you build up that, I don't say immunity, but you build up the immunity to the negativity, and you don't
Okay.
let it in
Mhm.
as readily. And so I feel like if you can do that with positivity,
Yep.
you ought to be able to do it with pineapple.
I'm rolling with it.
Oh my gosh. she
And
put
the glasses
shades
come on.
Listen.
Listen, I went to
my
Hawaii,
glasses
where
at
it's
night.
nothing but pineapple.
Truth.
And every time I sat down, they said, "Do you have a food allergy?" And I'd have to say pineapple, and they'd be like,
We can't give you anything on the
Well,
menu.
then-
"She's on the limited menu."
The la-
So I'm going to work through my pineapple issue. I don't know about the rest of these allergies. Probably some sort of crop
You can
or
borrow one
something.
of his EpiPens.
I hope you don't have to use them because that's a problem.
No.
That's a problem if you need to use mine because those things they pack a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I don't think I will, because I'm
good.
going to go small. I'm going to go incremental, so that if I do have a reaction, it's not huge. I just get the tingling,
And
breaking out.
Does
and
she
then-
realize I'm the one that's going to have to take care of her when this goes south?
Well, the fact
No,
that you
not at all.
realize that makes me
You feel a little bit better.
feel positive.
I feel for you.
Listen.
I do. I feel for you.
Hey,
Bring one
listen,
of your 5
listen. I want
EpiPens.
to publicly thank my daughter because she has been there with me since the accident. I moved in with her. She has gone through my surgeries, my recoveries, and it has not been a small thing. Almost 3 years now.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll golf clap to that.
Dude,
There we go.
Thank
there
you.
we
Church
go.
clap, just
There
a
we
golf
Thank
go.
clap.
you. And my son
Look,
Jordan.
we did the
we're
church
done.
clap, and that thing is loud, people. Like
Yeah.
that's praising
Okay.
Jesus. Okay,
All right.
that's a little.
So-
No, I'm not doing it, Javi. I'm
supposed to
not
do
doing
it.
it. I'm not doing it.
And we just celebrated my birthday, mine, and dust in the wind.
Fantastic.
8-8.
I'm happy you're both
All we
alive.
are is
I really
dust
am.
in the wind.
Are you ever going to sing on the show?
If I could actively
Wear
avoid
the
it, I
sunglasses
will.
and
No.
sing.
Nope, I'm not doing it. You guys. If
Singing
you want
is-
if you want me to sing on the show, I need at least 2 fingers of some good bourbon, and
You
then
know
I will
what, though?
consider it.
I wonder if
You notice I
the
said
guests
2
can
fingers,
sing.
right? Not 2
Should we put her
fingers.
on the spot?
2
Drunken singing?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, let's talk about our guest.
Yes, we've been talking for a long time. So,
yeah.
Callie, please
But
introduce our guest. for
listen.
today.
Now this is a great intro of our show to you. So now you can decide quickly: do you want to still be on it?
Now's the time. You can leave.
now.
You can leave. You can leave. No,
Listen,
no feelings
nobody
hurt.
has seen you yet.
Exactly.
Right.
We're good.
No harm,
You
no
I'm
sure?
here for all of it.
No, all right.
Okay.
She's here for all of it. I'm
All
loving
right,
it. I'm
all
loving
right.
it. I'm loving it.
Unfortunately, the guys I date, once they see it, that they're out. So I'm glad you're still in.
Yes. So this is Kristen Franey. Hopefully I said that right. She is an anti-business coach for the oversold and undersupported, deconditioning women from outdated strategies. You are the strategy. She helps women grow and scale their purpose-led business through a lens that includes human desigin and business strategy. Welcome, Kristen.
Welcome.
Yay,
Welcome.
Kristen!
No, no.
Our first
There we
ever
go. There we
guest.
go. There we go. There we go.
Okay, let me just blurt out that I do not know what your business is.
She
Even
didn't
from
know
that
that.
description.
So it works out.
I have run it several times too, and I feel like I'll reasonably be an intelligent person, but I can't put it all together. I understand some of the. I understand the words, but I don't understand.
In practice.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What
Tell
does it
us
look
what
like?
you do.
Yeah.
break it down.
What do you do?
What do I do? So I work with women who have businesses that are shifting the status quo or a little bit out of the box, and they're tired of getting business advice that isn't working for them.
Wait a
And
second.
I
Is the
figure-
business itself shifting and out of the box? I mean, are the businesses themselves unique?
Or is it all businesses?
or the people that own them are
Okay.
unique.
Okay, got it. I was
Yeah.
just wondering. So it's not like selling alligator cheese or something. I don't know. Where did that come from?
Alligator cheese.
I don't even.
Now that's out of the box. If I haven't heard it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Alligator
know.
Have you heard of that one? Have you worked with any
not heard of that
alligator
one.
cheese
Okay.
people?
Hey, just want to be on the same page, folks.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Kristen.
Yeah. So I essentially, most of my people have gotten to a stage where they've been sold so many different strategies and they're really frustrated of being trying to like cram themselves into the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen so many things that are like, we'll put you into our system and you'll make 6 figures by
Right.
next month. And they've tried all of those things. And at this point, they're starting to blame themselves and they're starting to realize that they can't be wrong. It's not them. They just haven't figured out what the solution is. And so I work with them to coach them through their blocks and through whatever it is that is keeping them from getting to their next level of their success.
So what is
whatever that looks like.
What is your background that would lend your expertise to help these women?
I was in corporate
Okay.
leadership for 25 years,
Oh, wow.
building
Corporate.
businesses, expanding brands globally. Some pretty big name brands. I've worked largely all around the globe. I was in London and Dubai and Malaysia. And
Nice.
so I get business. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I
Yeah.
can kind of cut through the bullshit of what the business stuff is or isn't
Okay.
that's going to work.
Like that.
But
I don't.
that wasn't my calling.
Can she say work? No.
Can you leave out the word work?
You know what? I love that. I already love Kristen
Yeah.
supremely. You know what? I was just going to add in there that it makes sense because if you try to shove everybody like a round peg and a square peg into a round hole,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Everyone is not
Yeah.
the same.
In a
Every business is not the
overpopulated,
same.
For sure. For sure.
Can't cookie cutter it.
business. Yes.
So I guess my question for you is because again I think that what you do is very very relevant specifically in today's economy and whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess my question for you is just what was the motivation, like what
Ooh,
brought
good
you to
question.
this point, right? Because it's very very valuable and obviously I think that there was a space for it, but everyone has a story and our podcast has never met a stranger, right? And so I imagine that we say that there are no strangers, just friends we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
And it's about connecting with people. And I imagine that there's a story for why you wanted to connect with these people specifically.
Yeah, well, I started out coaching a version of myself. So my job, ultimately my last job that I was in, I was brought in to look after a whole country in my role. And the plan was to expand. So I was looking after all of Malaysia. I had 40-ish stores. And it was horrible. It was a really misaligned role that I was in, or maybe the role wasn't misaligned. It was a misaligned moment of the company. And I was not performing well. I was really struggling. I was burnt out. I was self-medicating. I was drinking an awful lot to get through.
Okay.
And I came to a moment where I said, I felt like I had to continue. I was on a 2-year contract, and if I had left, I was going to have to pay back all of my money and all of the stuff and like all of the relocation expenses. So I was terrified. You were talking about fear. I couldn't see past that. And so I just thought to myself, I just have to get through 6 more months. Just cope for 6 more months. That's the best you can do. And I got back from a vacation where my dad said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And I broke down in tears and told him. And so I went to REI and I bought a backpack because my escape plan was that if it didn't work and if I had to leave, I was just going to backpack around Southeast Asia and figure stuff out instead of going back into corporate. And I got back on my first day and I was made redundant and my job ended.
Wow.
And so it was the best gift.
I must say, that's fantastic.
Well,
I guess, right?
Right, because if they end it, you are not liable to buy out the contract.
Exactly.
Right?
Fantastic.
That's God. God.
So
I love it when
You
things
knew
like that
before it was
happen.
gonna happen.
So my question then, okay, so like how long have you been doing this for yourself? Because that's the inspiration, but how long have you been I know you said you've been in corporate for, was it 25 years?
I was in corporate for about 25 years and I've been on the coaching journey for about 5.5.
Okay.
I officially started and I trained as a coach outside of corporate. I was in leadership and that's what I did. So I took some time off to recalibrate my nervous system and just spend time in Bali and enjoy and
Eat, pray, love moment.
have fun.
I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit,
a little bit
yeah.
of eat, pray, love
Now,
moment.
now this may be completely unrelated, but
Go for
so
it.
what alcohol did you drink in Malaysia?
Hey.
I'm just wondering.
I liked a lot of wine and a lot of beer.
Okay.
Okay. Well, because it's a different country. You don't
Preferably
know.
not at the same time. Maybe at the same
Listen,
time.
I could never become addicted to beer in, let's say, England because it's warm. You know what I'm saying? Different countries are,
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
continue. I am
Yeah.
the comic relief. Kristen, so congrats, because 5.5 years, really on the scale of new business, 5 years means you're here to stay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been moments where I've questioned and doubted whether that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is definitely, the path is not linear, and we
Yeah.
hear that a lot, but it feels different when you're in it. It's like, oh, yeah, it is not
But
linear.
I'm sure that you have. I'm sure that to continue your passion into this 5.5 year mark, you must have success stories. It must make you feel wonderful to help women in business to succeed.
Yeah. And where can they find you?
Absolutely. So folks can find me on Instagram. My website's going through a little bit of a rebrand. It's getting a little bit more rock and roll than it was before.
You want some
and
glasses?
so-
Liz,
Yes, please.
we have to send her some.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
please.
That might be part of our merch
Wait,
now. Thank
Please.
you.
I completely missed the name of the business. What?
Wait,
What is it?
So I coach just under my name. Officially, my business is Your Compass Within, but I coach, and you'll find me on Instagram as Kristen Franey. I
Your
started
compass
off
within. I like that.
Compass Within. Yeah, I feel like we all know the answers, and it sometimes just takes a little bit of excavation.
Mhm.
So much of what we are running up against is cultural conditioning and patriarchy and capitalism, and so it starts within us to
Mhm.
find those micro shifts that are going to start making those big giant steps of systemic change. on the
So
way
connecting
outward.
the dots, compass, relationally would
Yeah.
mean directionally.
Yes.
yeah.
And so, I'm guessing you're saying that we probably all know the right direction from within, right? And we just need a little help getting back on the right road into that correct
Okay.
destination, right?
So,
Exactly. Yeah. I think, there's so much that happens over the course of our lives where we're conditioned or, with our lived experience that we pick up certain beliefs that are self-limiting in some way.
Mhm.
I don't ascribe exactly to the life coaching ethos that is just change your thoughts and just change your life, because that really negates a lot of our lived experience. And,
yes, it's
Yeah.
not
you can't
really,
just change
it's
your
not
life. There is a
holistic.
whole
Yeah.
lot of there's a whole lot of systemic stuff that is
Mhm.
going on, and we have the capability to change our experience, start being happier, start looking for those moments. And it happens I love that you said this at the beginning, but it happens in the micro moments.
Mhm.
And if we want to see those big systemic shifts and change the world and go from ripple to revolution, it starts with
I like that.
Ripple to
deconstructing those
Ripple
beliefs.
revolution. I really like that.
You know what?
Ourselves,
Yeah.
I think you should incorporate Ripple to Revolution
That's
Do
wonderful.
that.
in your business
In
description,
your bio.
because that is good.
That was it.
I mean, no offense. I just read and reread your description. I just, but maybe because have not been introduced to somebody who coaches businesses outside of the corporate, cookie cutter. However, I think you should just simplify it and say, screw corporate. There's I'll help you.
That's funny.
And then we'll just all go to Bali.
And then we're good.
Backpack.
And that's
Right.
fantastic. We have the
There you
roadmap. We
go.
have the roadmap.
All right,
love
that'll
that.
conclude our show.
No.
Have a good
Yeah,
day.
I love that you specifically help women, but is it really limited to women? What if a man came to you and asked for help?
Good question.
If a guy came to me and asked for help, I would find out if I was able to help him. I wouldn't
Okay.
tell him I definitely could. I would find out where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do, and if I was the best coach for him.
Okay.
And if I wasn't, then I'd recommend somebody else.
That's awesome.
I do have a passion for working with women, and I've worked with 2 guys over the course of my 5 years here. So
Yeah.
Well, see,
So-
2. I mean, if you said you worked with 1, then we'd think it failed. But 2 means that at least one of them succeeded.
Right. So I have a question for you, because I'm really curious, because we're talking about you have coaching, individual life coaching, I guess, but not falling into that, you know.
More of a business.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious of the overlap, right? Because obviously you have a lot of, you know, corporate business, right? And you have that foundation of, you know, helping, you know, these individuals expand their businesses. But how much of that comes back to helping those individuals with themselves first and then expanding that growth to their businesses directly?
Well, my ethos is really that you are the strategy. So when people can unlock what their blocks are, they see exponential success in their business.
Mm.
So when they stop seeking outward approval, or they stop feeling like they have to follow somebody else that's telling them what to do, or they don't trust their own decisions. So really what we do is uncover what their limiting beliefs are, and start with that. So we start with how are they showing up in the business. And so
I like that.
when I say I do anti-business coaching, I really coach the person who owns the business and is running the business, so that they can make the best decisions.
We should include that. That
Ooh,
makes
yeah,
it very
I like
clear.
that.
You know, because it could just be as easy as, you know, if you the blueprint to success, you know, creating the strategy within yourself, is to coach the person, not the business.
Yeah, because I imagine that these people who are starting businesses have great ideas, right? They're trying to be impactful in their own way.
Yes.
But like you said, that it's cookie cutter. The corporate is very, very cookie cutter. They want you to fit their mold. So it sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like you're encouraging these individuals to live their authentic selves and then bring that authenticity to market in a way that is going to, you know, be monetarily beneficial in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I don't often in my marketing talk about money, because deep down, they're not really motivated by that. They're motivated by wanting to make an impact and bring this idea to the world and helping people. Yeah.
Yes.
But if they are not making money, they're not going to be able to sustain it.
Yeah. So there has to be, there's a balance there.
I have one.
Exactly.
I have one more quick question here. Just because, so I was a manager for many years at radio stations, and so I had for the year would start with goals, and then the strategy would be
How to obtain those
toward
goals?
goal attainment. I mean, a lot of people believe that the strategy is the, be all the end all, you know, kind of thing. I always just felt like the strategy was just here's the goal. How are we going to get there? Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had managed so many people that they were just like, I already have a strategy. Well, how do you have a strategy if you don't have a goal? How do you know where you need to go if you don't know where you are? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just curious because you mentioned strategy a lot. Do you feel the same? Is the strategy just the plan to attain the goal?
Yeah. So largely so I break this open too. I think SMART goals are BS. Right?
Oh, okay.
So specific measure.
That's
we
interesting.
don't
I'm curious. I'm intrigued because all I hear is SMART goals everywhere. So
I don't know.
I want to know. I want to know.
I don't know what SMART goals are. What is it?
So SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, in my world, it was just, here's your budget.
Very
Do you know what I
There
mean?
you go.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
Here's your budget. I just need to know how you're going to get there so I can help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I often feel as if a SMART goal is very limiting. And so oftentimes when people feel that they have to put a SMART goal in, they tend to not see their fullest potential through that. They start to bring in limits and self-limiting behaviors and self-limiting things because they start thinking, well, is this realistic? Well, I don't necessarily live in the land of what's realistic. We're living in the land of what is your fullest potential and possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's possible. And so I work with my clients on bold goals that they have to be really brave to achieve. They're obligatory, right? Like they feel it in their bones. This is their purpose and their mission. But it's lifelike. They can still see themselves living out this version of themselves that has achieved this goal. And they're really determined to make it happen. It is the thing that gives them breath and vim and vigor every day.
So is this, so when you say you help them and coach them, for lack of a better term, is it like business therapy type of thing? I mean, is it all verbal? Like you're meeting with them one-on-one or via Zoom, or, you know what I'm saying? Is it interacting that way in how you help them? Or do you have a specific plan type of thing, that they need to follow? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. How do you do it? Do you just meet with them and talk to them and continue to meet and talk?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a process that I go through, and so we start with foundational work. I call my process expand, but we start with the very foundational stuff of where are you right now and where do you want to go? What are the blocks? What's in the way? What are the self-limiting behaviors and beliefs? How can we crack those open? How can we dismantle those? I've been incorporating some human design into the work that I do, which really gives people language into how they start showing up and what are their best ways of working instead of what society says.
What
their
was
best
that?
ways.
Human design?
Yeah, human design.
Human design, yeah. So human design brings in some ancient wisdom and modern science and neuroplasticity, and helps people to understand sort of what your best way of working is within the world. There's 5 different types. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into it. And based on that, like somebody might be, one of my clients is an emotional responder, whereas I operate from my gut feeling, and it's either a hell yes or a hell no from me.
Yeah.
He doesn't get that. She has to sit and process the emotions, and in 2 weeks' time, she'll know exactly what the right decision is. But don't force her to make a decision today.
Yeah.
If she feels forced to make that decision today, she's going to run screaming. She's going to say, nope, I don't want to do it. Like she just gets frustrated and stops and goes into like freeze mode.
Yeah.
Whereas if she has time to process and she can honor that, and she'll be like, okay, let me sit with it for a little bit. So we just worked with her on, okay, so what does your strategy look like so that you don't ever feel forced to make a decision? How do you then incorporate that time into your schedule or into your decision-making process so that it feels like you're in control of it instead of everyone else controlling it?
Nice.
And when she had that, she's like, oh my God, well, this just changes everything. She's like,
Right.
okay, I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
have to
because
decide today. I'm like,
People
no,
respond
deal with it.
differently.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? People respond differently to deadlines.
Yeah.
So whereas I was completely motivated by deadlines and competitive about deadlines,
Someone might shut
other
down.
people, like you said, that creates the mental block, like it almost paralyzes them.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of business therapy or success therapy or whatever,
Helping the
it
person
kind
in the
of,
business.
Yeah.
because I believe everyone needs therapy. No one
Agreed.
more than myself. But anyway, the why? Because first of all, especially as it relates to business, if you've worked in corporate America or you've worked for hideous bosses or you've had all this baggage, it's exactly the same as a relationship, right? You still bring all that baggage forward into your business
Yeah,
and
you
your
carry yourself
current
as a person.
mindset, heart set, or you know what I mean? And just like she was saying, then talking about that, getting it all out on the table is finding out where those blocks are coming from. I think
Yep.
that's brilliant.
Me too. What is
Yeah.
your
And
success
it
rate
is-
is what I want to know.
Well, I'll be honest, it's hard. A couple of things. My success is my client's success, right? So
Yeah.
I always find that really hard to talk to and talk about and to quantify. I've had clients who have come to me to figure out the best way to grow and expand their business. One of my clients was running a $3 million business. And she wanted to be able to step away from it, have a little bit more freedom, and she needed some leadership guidance and advice. She wasn't sure how to manage her team. And as we were going through the process of getting her to feel more comfortable in kind of stepping away and delegating more, she realized that through the work we did, she didn't even want that business. And that's what was causing all of the friction and why it was so difficult. And so the success rate was she sold it and she
Okay.
took a year off.
I
So she
don't-
no longer had a business. She didn't grow her business
Yeah,
the way that
but-
we
But
thought.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's fair that you have to have your success
Based-
measured by the success of the
Right.
business,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
because clearly your role is in evolving, freeing, changing the business owner. And if she felt liberated enough to recognize that she didn't like the business and wanted to sell it, that's success on your
Exactly.
end.
Yeah.
Because she could have wasted another 30 years
Yeah.
Yep.
doing something she hated. I feel like it's a success.
Absolutely.
I'm giving her a check. Ding. That's a success. That's it.
I'm
Kristen.
taking it.
Take it. Take it.
Yeah. But that's where so, and I operate in the business space, coaching people that own businesses, but my metrics, everything that I do is very different too. So other people would say, well, I've helped X number of people achieve $100,000 in their first year.
Right.
And I don't necessarily do that. I help people show up more fully in their business and feel really confident.
Your measurables are far different, right?
And,
exactly.
And I think probably the measure would be by satisfied clients.
Well, yeah,
right.
Sure.
I mean, if if they feel that they have evolved, changed within, grown, showing up 100%, and in their time with you, that is a success because you've brought them to that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Help the
Well,
person. Help the
if
person.
we're going on that, I'm going
successful.
with
Yes.
I am. Yes, I'm going to go with. I've got about a 95% success
Okay,
rate.
I like
There were
it.
two clients I took out of in early days before I knew better. Out of desperation.
You can't go 95.
Right? Like I can help everybody.
You can't go 95, Kristen. You've got to go 96 or 94. Nobody ever believes the 80, 85 on the 5. They think that it's just rhetoric, that you're spewing it out. So go 96 if you feel confident.
I'll go 96.
96. I like
Probably
it.
more like 99.
Oh, there we go. She was being humble. I like that. So I'm curious because we're actually mentioning this little past story here about delegating things, and I know that you work with the business owner specifically, but how often are you looking at a trickle down effect from the knowledge you're giving the owner into the structure of the company itself to middle management to again, do you see that usually spread out, like you said, a ripple first? I'm curious.
Yeah, so the majority of my clients so far have been solopreneurs. They aren't necessarily leading larger scale businesses at this point. That's what their goal and objective is to be able to scale and start bringing on a team. In some of the consulting work that I have done in the past, that's been the objective, right? Where it then, like if the leader shows up, I believe it's very much a shadow of a leader. So how we do anything is how we do everything. And if we're showing up fully as ourselves, we're not bringing that stress level and they're not bringing that stress level, and they're able to take a step back. They're able to delegate better. They're very clear on what their vision is and how they're going to get there. They can communicate that much better to their team.
I love that.
Everything definitely has a ripple effect outward into who our community is, whether that's the people that are working for us or the people working with us or the people that we're serving.
Now, do you have your own team? So, or are you singularly working with all your clients? You know what I'm saying?
At the moment, I'm singularly working with my clients. I have folks that I bring on from time to time when I have a larger workload. If I'm in a big launch, I bring some trusted folks in to help with some of my social media stuff and things that are not my zone of genius. But
do you do it in person or remotely?
Most of my work has been remote. Even folks that I've learned have been in LA, we've still done via Zoom because it can take like an hour to get there. It's not really close.
The thing that COVID did was really help Zoom in terms of multi-billion probably, but it also people who had never used that technology really or bought into it. It forced them to then realize, hey, Zoom is A-OK or whatever it is, Meetup or you know what I'm saying. I love that. I love technology and the fact that you can coach someone in LA as effectively as you can right there sitting in your office or living room or whatever. I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, I don't know, did we get to the 20-minute mark or, how we do? But I want to not interrupt you and have you.
See, the problem is I have more questions.
Okay. We can
I have more questions. I'm sorry.
Israel,
I know. I just sit here and
I'm sorry.
observe.
It's
I'm curious. Just
I'm a therapist by trade, so I'll just listen.
It's just a very, very, very interesting topic to me, right? Because again, it is really, really, especially in this day and age, we're talking about, look at the whole self in terms of our workflows and our work lives, and we're moving away from this belief that we are machines as people. We're actually trying to heal ourselves as we progress and move forward, in industry. So that you're focusing on that is really, really just intriguing to me. And I'm curious because, again, our podcast is Never Met a Stranger.
Right.
And I would love to hear if there's any success stories that you could share about, or like even just knowledge and wisdom that you have for our viewers about, how this actively works, and then things that they could do
or at
and
least
take with
first
them.
steps.
Yeah, first steps, things that they could take with themselves. Because again, I imagine that you're your belief system is unique because you're trying to connect with unique people and who have unique problems, right? So I'm really just intrigued about all of it. So if you would be willing to share, I would really want to hear.
We really love to help businesses, and we love, but we also want to help our viewers, So, I mean, you don't have to give away any trade secrets unless you want to. But what I'm saying is, you know how that is. You put the bait out there, they'll be like calling you anyway. If you any just kind of like as Rel said, maybe just a little wisdom pearl of wisdom.
Well, yeah, I would love if you have a success story because I think that'd be really great, something that's
Very
more
helpful.
tangible. But then, yes, anything else you'd want to share, I'm
We just
all
talked
ears.
about measuring success, though.
True, but again, I imagine there's people that stand out to you a little bit.
Lots of people that stand out. So one of my very recent clients came to me because she was really stuck with anxiety in her business, and she knew all the things that she should do, and she had not signed a client for a little while. She was upgrading her business. She's a web designer, and she was anxious that she didn't know where her next client was going to come from, which means she didn't know where her next batch of money was going to come from. And she had a little bit of money in the bank, but it was finite and it was going to run out. And so rather than doing the things that she needed to do, reaching out to clients, doing some client work, doing some, audits on websites, she was frozen. And she came to me, she's like, I feel like I need a strategy. Like I need to figure out a way that I can reach out to clients that feels really good. So we did our work. And one of the things that I do with my clients is I go through an exercise called your favorite self. I think, yes, we all want to get to be better versions of ourselves, but a lot of times that best self comes with a lot of the judgment of like, who decides what your best self is? Like it's you at the end of the day, right? So best self might be the person that goes to the gym 6 times a week, but you don't want to do that. So don't do it. Right? That's okay. Do what lights you on fire. So we worked through her limiting beliefs and what was going on, and she uncovered a fear that she was having about running out of money. And one of the things that we did was we flipped and we started looking at, okay, so where is that a false belief, right? And she thought that she wasn't going to be able to generate this income and she wasn't capable of doing it. And it took us peeling back and getting to a couple of layers deep to really crack this open. And so she had this very deep belief that she wasn't capable of doing it. And that money just, when she was successful or when she did have money, it was just a fluke. And so what we did instead was, so she was like, so her nervous system then wasn't able to recreate and do things because she felt like, well, I don't know what I'm doing in order to generate it.
So is it like some kind of like imposter syndrome a little bit almost?
Very much imposter syndrome coming in. And so when we unpacked this, we started then looking at, okay, so when can you find evidence to prove that wrong, right? Like this limiting belief that you have, what is all of the evidence? Let's start creating an evidence bank of all the times you were successful at creating income, at showing up as your favorite self, at doing things despite the fear, at, moving past this limiting belief. Because ultimately it's just your brain trying to create comfort and familiarity for yourself, even though the familiarity sucks, even though that's not the place you want to be. It's just what your brain is going to do. Yeah. So once we did that, she was like, oh, I've got a list as long as my arm. Like I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. She's like, oh my God. And I can talk to this person and I can go talk to this person. And so she came away from that session. It took us a few sessions to get there and to be able to get deep enough for her brain to like let go of some of the limiting beliefs.
I love that. I love that.
And she came away with a plan and she was able to execute on the plan. And she, after that, had people reaching out to her. So coaches reaching out to her, asking if she could be part of their program and offer, which wasn't anything that she had expected was going to happen. But because she was showing up consistently and she was sharing her message with confidence, coaches were coming to her saying, hey, I'm putting together this offer for my clients. And one of the things I would like is web design to be part of that and for their offer page to be designed. Can you do that for all of my clients?
Oh,
wow.
Growth.
Yeah.
Open door,
So
open door. Open door.
And opened a door that she didn't even expect. So that's where, if she had stuck with the SMART goal of, I want to sign 5 clients by the end of this month, she might not have ever had that opportunity come to her. So
Yes.
by just being open and being brave and doing things that were out of her comfort zone, an even wilder opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
That's
you know what?
something.
I appreciate that you asked that question, because that example, I think, really puts into perspective a lot of things for me anyway.
Mm.
I mean, oh my gosh, how much does our psyche limit us? You know,
Oh,
you always
God.
hear of
Yeah.
fear of failure, but there's also fear of success, which I suffered, you know,
True.
for a long time. You know, I would have it, and I'd be right there, and then I'd shoot myself in the foot because
Self-sabotage.
I felt like I didn't deserve it. Why?
Mhm.
You know, it's all in there, and it's, you know, like the onion, you know, on Shrek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to peel it back like layers.
All right,
But
Donkey.
but the point is that as it relates to business, those things are debilitating and limiting, and the fact that you help uncover those, so that, well, Callie, you know, as a therapist, that you know, it's all about the baggage and the hidden things, because we don't want to look at them, acknowledge them, and deal with them, because there's a reason that they're buried.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, too painful, too whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
I love this, Kristen.
I
I
do.
love you.
Yes.
I am curious. Now I'm picking on you,
What?
because you're a therapist as
Yeah.
well. And again, I think that your guys' experiences.
similar.
I'm saying,
Yes.
so I'm curious. Is there anything from a therapist perspective that you'd like to ask our guests? Because I'm just, you know, I work with people, yes, but I'm curious because you guys are
Yeah, from a
more
therapist.
closely
point.
aligned.
POV.
Not necessarily to ask, but to say thank you, you know, because you do it from a different point of view. A lot of people hear therapy or therapists and they're already like, no, I'm not doing that, you know, but because you come from a different,
Ankle.
a different angle, people don't see it that way. And then they end up being able to heal themselves. So
Yeah, super beneficial
Yeah.
to use that approach in a directionally different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because then people feel they let their guard down a little more, maybe.
Mm.
You know, because they're
Exactly.
like, I'm not going to dredge up all of my childhood crap with
Yeah.
this. This
Yeah.
is all about business, right?
Little
But
do you know.
but it's all connected. It's all
Yeah,
connected.
little
Yeah,
do you
it
know.
really,
Right?
really.
yeah.
I mean, it's all connected. That's it's the complete package totality of who we are and evolve
For
to
sure.
be is life experiences, right? Good or bad.
So
Yeah.
do you find?
Can I
okay.
add on to that before we go on? Like,
Yeah.
I do also very much find it valuable that people also go to therapy,
Okay.
because I am not a therapist, right?
Right.
And I don't have the same level of training.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of work on, you know, trauma informed and
Yeah.
how
Mhm.
to hold people's trauma and to not re-traumatize people, but my level of depth and training
Yeah.
is not the same as a
Right.
therapist.
Mhm.
And so there are certain areas, you know, like familial and all of
Mhm.
those types of things that I just don't necessarily go into as deeply. But I do very much believe like it takes a village. Like we
Yeah.
need to have all of
I
these
love
different
that.
support systems.
Because
Agreed.
if you do, you know, vertently or inadvertently, just kidding. If you do bring up that and it requires a therapist,
Yeah,
that's very
you just opened a
responsible of you
door.
to
Mhm.
then
They find
say,
it
this is
positive.
outside my expertise. You know, you need to go and get some, you know, professional. But the fact that it's up and it's out and it's, you know what I'm saying, is great. And so I'm with Callie. Thank you. Now, how can our friends get in touch with you?
So easiest thing right now is on Instagram. It's just my name, Kristen.Franey.
How do you
I will
spell your
share a
last
link
name?
with you guys. Franey.
All right.
Okay.
We will add that to
Kristen
the episode.
Franey.
Awesome.
The compass with that. I love that.
Yes.
Kristen, you're awesome. You
Thank
are.
you so much for
You
coming
know,
in.
You're awesome
so
squared.
So serious, because I
Yeah.
still have questions, but
Listen,
I will
he
cut
might
it
be
back.
your
Give her a
next
call. I'll
client.
I'll cut it
That
back. I'll
one
cut it
right
back because
there.
again, it's really, really good. If there's one last thing I will actually ask of
Yes.
you, and because I know we're probably going to stay on here and talk a little bit. I think maybe when you're on.
Well, we're
All you
gonna
gotta
wrap
do is
up.
We'll
challenge
see.
recap.
Exactly. But I want to know if there is one singular piece of advice that you could just share with our viewers right now to take with them from this discussion or from what you do or from what you've witnessed. What would that be right now?
Well, I'm going to tie it back to something you guys said at the very beginning, which is actually start finding little moments of joy in your day. There is so much that is happening in the world
Yes.
right now that feels really heavy. And it starts to, again, it's that ripple to revolution, right? Like the smaller moments, we start having those in those little tiny micro moments. It affects our nervous system. It affects how we perceive the world. And we all need a little bit more joy wherever we can find it.
That's why we try to be the good news in a bad news world.
Yeah.
Right?
Kristen, you have been wonderful. Thank you
We
so much.
love you.
Now
Come
not a
back.
stranger,
This has been so
now
much
is a
fun.
friend.
Oh, I'm
We
glad.
want you
I'm
to
glad.
come back, Christian.
I'm glad.
You have to
So-
come back. Israel has like 50 more
I really
questions.
do. I really do have more
I
questions.
would love to. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. And listen, we'll put your information up. And again, thank you for your time and your joy and
Opening
your
our
wisdom.
eyes.
You know, I love unique, I don't know, perspectives, but then taking that step further, you rarely see that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I mean, you rarely see someone like Kristen who says, I read that it takes a certain madness to be all in. And I identified with that because I'm a 100% girl, right? 100% passion. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%. The fact that you found this niche that you knew you could really help people and you're mad enough to do it.
Well,
Right?
yeah, it does take
Right?
it takes a certain level of delusion to be able to do
Right?
this for sure.
It takes some bold goals, right?
I meant that as a
it takes some bold
compliment.
goals.
Strategy
There
for
we
that.
go.
Listen,
I take it.
I didn't say crazy or insane.
Yes.
I said mad, because, people are reserved and they hold back and they don't want to go all in because there's that fear of failure or fear of,
Success.
I
yeah.
go all in
Yeah,
and I
both.
lose everything, right?
Yep.
But it takes a certain type of person to go all in, Kristen, and do
Yeah.
this unique business and help people change the world. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate that there's folks like you out there that are doing it also.
Oh, we try.
No, I really am crazy.
We
you don't
try.
appreciate
We
it.
try.
Yeah, we love you, Kristen, and we wish
you
you
guys
nothing
too.
but success, and hope that you come back soon and see us.
Yeah. Don't
I'd
be a
love to.
stranger.
Don't be a stranger.
Be a
All
stranger.
Right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Love her.
Yeah,
I
she's
do.
great, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
I
Yeah.
met her through a friend who's actually going to be our first guest.
Yes,
Okay.
And
right.
then,
Right. Yeah, who's an author, and looking forward to that. I knew, when I was a radio DJ, we interviewed people all the time, and I was responsible for setting up guests, blah, 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 But I knew that with Israel in the room, combined with me, and then Callie's soft touch, that it would not be awkward. You know what I mean? It would
Yeah.
keep rolling.
I hope not.
You
I
guys
hope
had a
not.
lot of good questions.
No,
I was
it
like,
wasn't
let's do
awkward.
this.
I
I'm curious by nature, and
Me
then
too.
again,
Do
it's
that.
really, really interesting just because again of that intersection of where her business and the self aligned. I thought it was really just an interesting exploration.
I'm always
That was a whole
wary.
unique business in itself.
Yeah, it was.
I'm always wary of someone who says they are a life coach. And Callie and I talked about this. I'm like, what does a life coach? She's not. But what I'm saying is people who call themselves life coaches, I'm wary of that because, come on, first of all, we're all human. Bible says it. We're all human and fall short of the glory of God. So how is somebody going to teach me about my life?
I think we should get a
probably
life
don't
coach
have,
on here. Ask some
you know,
questions.
when they don't, what I mean? Not even chances are. With absolute certainty, they do not have their life together 100% because no one
No.
does.
But neither
know?
do therapists, and we see people.
Well, therapy is different than life coaching that I'm talking about. There are people that are self-proclaimed life coaches with really no degrees or any kind of formal training or anything that really could propel them to that level of expertise. You know what I'm saying? And yet people trust them, sometimes it's tarot card readers or sometimes it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying it's nice that legitimately there's someone who has experience and actual on-the-job training, wisdom,
Yeah.
bringing it all into a business that actually legitimately should do this.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Because when I hear a life coach, I think of people getting, actively paying somebody to give them information that a good friend can give you, right?
Right.
Be honest with you about
Yeah,
some
but
things.
what if you don't have that friend?
And again, I understand that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I know that
I know.
my perspective could be, very, very limiting and not, very constrictive and not really take into consideration that some things aren't as easy as they sound. And I guess that's a good point to make.
There's no template
No.
for life success. And so I think it's the title life coach that I object to. You know,
I agree. I think that's actually because again, if you're not talking about life coach, if you're coaching me on something specific, because I don't think you understand me whole enough to
right.
Well, they
call
get
it
to
a life
know
coach.
you. I don't know. I am on the opposite side of this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Only because there are a lot of wise people out there that just haven't gone to school yet for something specific. And there are people that need direction in their life.
No, I get that, and I
Me
guess
too.
okay, maybe we're on the, I'm not saying I'm on a different side. I think I'm inherently skeptical of the term
We need to
life
get a life
coach.
coach on
I'm
here.
inherently skeptical of the term life coach.
Me
that.
too.
But
Me too.
What would you call yourself then?
Well, and I'm with-
wisdom for free? I don't know. Like I don't.
But here's the
I
deal.
don't know.
Here's the deal, though. I think that maybe, just like some other things, the term or the title life coach has gotten a bad rap because there are bad
Yeah,
people, you
for
know.
sure. There's
you know what I'm
nothing
saying?
to hold you
So
accountable.
then you kind of stereotype it. At least
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And put all of the wackos in there that are just trying to make a buck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they make it bad for the people who legitimate can coach people without a degree. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is the term itself is what triggers me because
Mm.
of all the things that I've heard or you read.
Yeah.
So you know, we're not on a different page at all.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
okay
that
to be,
they're
though.
great. It's great to have people and necessary to have people
Yeah.
who coach you through things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that would help you be about. We
The
talked
human
about
life.
it with living an intentional life. That's
Yeah.
just really same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Being, you know, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, figure out who you are, what you
There's
stand
even
for,
people that
where
are
you want to
like
go.
Relationship coaches that don't have
Right.
formal degrees but are very wise or have been through a
Right.
lot, and so they.
But I
know.
love that Kristen says when it gets to the point where it's beyond her.
She knows where
Yeah.
she knows her limitations,
Exactly.
and she knows that
And
when
that's
when
what
other additional interventions should be.
needs
Yeah.
to be.
I appreciate it. And it was really funny because you said relationship coach, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think it's because when I
No,
hear
me
relationship
either.
coach, I feel like it's a narrow and focused enough term
Yeah.
until it attracts them. I'm like, yeah, you need help specifically with relationships. When I hear life coach, I'm like,
Yeah, but then what
there's
makes them
no-
qualified? How do you
But
know
life is so
I'm,
like
I
all
get it. I get it. And this is this is life seems a little bit too broad. And again,
Too
that's
broad.
those are my that's my
How
own.
can you be an expert
own
in when I should have a
idiosyncrasies,
bowel
right? That's my
movement and what
own-
kind of vegetables I should eat?
I
and-
don't think
you know what I'm saying?
it's that.
We're gonna have to have a life coach. So
No,
if you're a life coach and you
listen,
listen to
I
this,
am not trying to offend any life coach population.
No. Again, this
That's
is
not offensive.
at all.
I'm just saying that's why. That's my own opinion. That's my own stereotyping of the term.
Yeah,
I,
that's why
I
you get life
know.
coach.
I know two life
And
coaches
relationship
that
coach.
are. I know
Nice.
two life coaches that are brilliant, and they are actually licensed therapists. But they are brilliant, and they are immensely helpful. And you know, I know that I don't want to offend anyone either. is
Yeah.
what I'm
I
saying.
wonder if it's to say, then make sure you research who you're investing in.
You should always
You
do
know what
that.
I mean?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
there are people that will just take the life coach and be like, you must be qualified.
Well, when is the last time you asked somebody to see a degree? Do you know what I mean? People just take other people at face value, and sometimes they are scammers.
Well, and this is I don't necessarily need to see a degree because you're correct. The term itself lends it to
You're an expert in something.
you're or not even an expert, right? Like, but I want to know like what qualifies you. Not I don't need a degree. I don't because I think that a degree is
Yeah.
honestly just so that you were dedicated enough to go to school. And not that you actually learn anything from it. What I want to know is what were your experiences, or what have you witnessed, or what have you researched that lets you know that the information you're going to be giving and sharing is going to be applicable to these situations, and that what qualifies you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying and when I said when's the last time we asked to see a degree, I didn't mean that we should do that.
No,
what
I
I meant is even if when I was interviewing people and they had on their resume that they graduated from, did I check that out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And whereas we've become a very cynical society, not in this area. I mean, I could hang a shingle out, do a little website design, and start taking clients tomorrow
Yeah.
based on nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
just be same as Callie was saying. Just it's your life. It's your
Yeah.
money. Do the work. Ask the questions.
Okay.
I wonder if that could be our challenge, Make sure you research before you invest in something.
Well, not everybody's probably at that.
I think I don't know if I want to go there. What I would like to do if I were going to do a challenge, I would like to tie it into our guest, right?
Yeah.
And then she'd said some a few things that were very very poignant, right? Very very they hit home, and I heard like Ripple Revolution was something I
Love
really
that.
loved a
She's
lot,
gonna have to trademark that.
right?
But
So-
listen, I had a question. Can it be a ripple to rip tide? What's a rip tide?
What
Is
a
that the
riptide?
where it goes out and comes back in? No, that's a.
No. I mean, revolution. I love revolution, but ripple to riptide.
Both water.
Anyway,
again.
go ahead.
Yeah. But when I think of ripple revolution, I think
I
of
digress.
obviously revolution isn't just tearing down what is. It's about creating ideally just positive
Revolution
change.
has a. If you look at it historically, sometimes a negative.
It can.
connotation,
I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
but
But revolution, I don't see it negative.
I
I
don't.
think anytime you have a revolution within yourself, within your community, within your business, all that means is that you care enough to have an uprising.
Yeah.
You care enough to be passionate and have a revolution of, minor to major scales, right?
So I don't think we should encourage people to go out into the world and create revolutions, but I think that we right.
You know, riptides
I
either.
don't need anyone out there where getting your torches and pitchforks going to your coaches. Yeah, no.
Have something big.
Beatles.
But
Go ahead.
I'm thinking maybe just like maybe start what is an area in our individual lives that we could start a ripple and hope that it gets into revolution. The one thing that we just want to change and maybe want to not change, just improve upon, right? So what could we do to start the small things that we could go ahead and start doing to just
Maybe
Make a change.
Make a change internally. Let's start internally.
Yeah.
right. So maybe the challenge is that you embrace this, this thought process of, I can make a difference. I can go from the ripple to the revolution. I have it within myself to do that. I'm going to start with and then identify that small step,
Yeah.
right? And take it.
Mhm.
Because
Maybe make some bold goals.
yeah,
I like
bold.
Bold
Yes.
goals.
I like the word
I
bold.
like bold goals.
It's not as good as
Listen.
Tampico, but
It's
that's good.
There we go. That down.
Okay.
I also like asparagus, but go ahead.
So
Oh gosh, are you
we're
hungry
embracing
or
the
not?
ripple. We're embracing the ripple. We're making bold goals. Is that what our challenge is going to be? It's going to be for the week, people. We're going to go off on a tangent.
Embrace the ripple.
Embrace the ripple. That's what we're doing.
Embrace the lunch.
All right, we're hungry.
Wow,
Okay.
man, somehow we've got to incorporate embrace the ripple.
Okay.
Oh my
So,
God.
Callie,
The tagline.
so officially, what's the challenge?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay,
All
well,
over the
dude.
place.
Embrace the ripple. We're rolling with it.
Okay,
We're embracing the
embracing
ripple
the
for the
ripple.
challenge.
Go and eat
Okay,
your
wait.
asparagus.
How about become the ripple? Become the ripple. If we don't have a world where people are willing to start and become a ripple, then where are we?
And it starts with
Become
you.
the ripple that turns into the
We'll
revolution.
roll with it.
All right.
Roll with it. I like it.
But I still like embrace the
I
ripple.
know.
Oh
I know,
my
I
gosh.
know.
Embrace the ripple.
Embrace ripple.
With that
Callie,
being
take us
said-
home. I'm saying, take us home, Callie.
This is Never Met a Stranger, and don't be a stranger. Till next time.
See you.
Good show.
Oh, we should have signed out with our glasses.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.